So, like we said, you met him in 1990. What were your
Yeah.
first impressions of him?
He was just very shy and he was kind of staring at me. I remember, like, he was kind of like looking at me, and I thought, oh, he's looking at me. And I wasn't like a massive fan of the band. I didn't know them that well. And I think I told this tale in the podcast. Like, I didn't really know who, because they had such a tight entourage with them of probably 10 guys. I didn't know who was in the band and who wasn't. They were all like Manchester guys, but so I needed to get a shot of them coming out of the airport in Reykjavik. And I didn't know who was in the band, and I didn't want them to know that I didn't know who was in the band. So I just got on the bus where there was it was like a coach, really. It wasn't a tour bus. And I just said, "Can we have the band?" Just hoping to God that they thought that I knew who was in the band, because anyone could have got off the bus and I would have been like, "Okay, this way." Anyway, but yeah, he was shy. He was kind of eyeing me up, and he was very attentive. Like, remember, we were filming backstage before the gig, and he was like making sure that me and my friend Laura, who was with me, we had drinks, and being very kind of gentlemanly. Um, yeah, that was my first impression of him, really. Yeah.
So you got to know each other, and then I bet it was a bit of a shock when you opened the music. Was it a music magazine a couple of years later?
Um, what, when he was getting married? That one?
Yeah, yeah.
No, it was earlier than that. So this was like in about March of 1990, and then I saw him. We went out a couple of times in London soon after that. He went round to my mum's house with tickets. So I met him in Iceland, and they were doing GMEX really soon after that. And I must have given him my home address. And I was living in London, and he drove round to my mum's house and dropped off 2 tickets and backstage passes for GMEX. So I went up to Manchester with a friend of mine, thinking, "Oh, I'm going to meet Paul Ryder," and I never saw him. And it was because what he hadn't told me was that he was actually in a relationship with the mother of his 2 children, and so I never saw him. And so I was kind of a bit pissed off, really. And then about 2 months later, I opened a copy of the Face magazine, and there were his wedding pictures, and he got married.
Gee.
Weirdly, I now live in the same town that he got married to this woman in Calabasas in near Los Angeles. Weird coincidence.